It's a pure audacity. Can't let no dream turn to tragedy. Got cash coming with that reality. Gotta see it with intelligent mentality. And they both coming for y'all salaries. Plus, never been distracted by your fallacies. Can't no podcast be their policies. Hand down, and they best do a prodigy. Yeah, Captain, I see you got mind of a dreamer. When they hit topics, you better believe it. They only speak facts by the odds and they even. You gotta pay homage whenever they speaking. One of a kind like a rose from the cement. Dimly tied like Serena and Venus. Speaking their name, but you better believe the topic they touching can make you a genius.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What up, Doe Arcia? How you feel?
I'm good. How are you, cousin?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling good. The weather's been wonderful.
Yes. Another beautiful day.
Another beautiful day. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Pure Audacity. Make sure you hit like or subscribe if you haven't already on whatever listening platform you're listening on. Like our Facebook page, Pure Audacity Podcast, or follow us on Instagram at Pureaudacitypod.
Right.
So, Arcia, episode 5. We are getting into the groove of things. On this episode, what we gonna start out with? What we gonna talk to them about this episode first? You want to talk to them about old school versus new school?
That'll work for me.
Okay, so old school versus new school. So I want to talk about 2 songs in a show. The 2 songs the first song is Rule the World by 2 Chainz featuring Ariana Grande. And that's a sample of Anne-Marie's Why Don't We Fall in Love. I heard that song a couple weeks ago, I believe, and I was like, oh, this is a sample of that Anne-Marie song. And I was like, oh, I should talk about that on the podcast. So here we are. I'm going to start with the old school song first. Anne-Marie's version, Why Don't We Fall in Love. It was a cute little song back in the early 2000s. I started out liking the song back then, but it quickly became very annoying to me because they played it all the time. And Anne-Marie doesn't have a voice. She has a high-pitched, like, screechy voice that I can't listen to consecutively too much before it starts getting on my nerves. So that's why I end up not liking the song after a short amount of time. And I'm not saying I don't like Anne-Marie because she's come out with some good songs, but she's definitely not an artist I could sit to and listen to 5, 6, 7 songs of hers in a row. I just couldn't. Bringing up to date the two. Oh my gosh, I can't talk tonight. The 2 Chainz version. I like it. I definitely give it a thumbs up. I feel like Ariana sounds good on it. 2 Chainz raps across the beat really, he flows across the beat really well. I think that it's a hit for me. It's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yep.
Okay, well, you said the original song you didn't like because they, played it on the radio too much and probably in clubs and you name it. Me, I enjoyed the song. I still do. Like, whenever I come across it on Pandora or on the radio, I enjoy listening to it. She was just like one of the singers that I enjoyed listening to growing up, like her, Ashanti, Alicia Keys, Beyonce. So, like, when that song came out, like, I fell in love with that song. I'm not going to say I fell in love with her as an artist. I just fell in love with that song and, like, 2 other songs by her. But I definitely am a fan of the song. So, when I first heard the new version with 2 Chainz and Ariana Grande, like, the first 15 seconds of the song, it caught my attention. I was like, hey, that's Why Don't We Fall in Love? And so I happened to listen to it maybe like 2 months ago or whenever it came out. And I just been playing it on replay in my car all the time. So if you get in the car with me, you're going to hear it about 2 or 3 times. I like Ariana Grande. She definitely dominates the chorus of the song.
Yeah,
2 Chainz. 2 Chainz. He always on it.
So it's a thumbs up for you?
It's a thumbs up. I get from the song, it's like an overwhelming power they possess as a pair, if you listen to the lyrics. But I really like the chorus. I am a fan of Ariana Grande, so shout out to Ariana.
Okay.
It's changed, so yeah, I really like that song though. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up too. I like it better than the original version.
Hey, okay.
I'm saying that because maybe it's like hip hop, because the original version is like more R&B, because she's just singing, like she doesn't have anybody rapping unless it's on a remix or something.
Yeah, she's just singing in that version. I'm not sure if there's a remixed version with a rapper, because that was the thing back then.
Right.
So, okay. All right. So, thumbs up from...
Both agree with Rule the World.
Yes,
New school over old school.
Old school. You heard it from Pure Audacity. Let's see.
You should check it out if you haven't heard it either.
Yes, please check it out. Give it a listen and let us know what you think. Let us know what you think on the Facebook post that will feature this episode on it, or the Instagram post. Usually for Instagram, I'll screenshot that new episode and then post it to our Instagram page. So feel free to comment your thoughts on that song. The next song I want to talk about, Arcia, is... Well, let me preface this before I get into it, because there is a whole hive of people that will come after me if I'm not careful.
Better get it right, then.
Yeah, I better get it right. Let me preface this by saying that it's a Beyonce song that was sampled.
Right.
I'm not a Beyonce fan. However, however, Beehive, before y'all come after me, I'm definitely not a hater of Beyonce either. You know, bad things happen to people that say bad things about Beyonce. Shout out to Carrie Hilson. Shout out to Latavia. Latoya got right, so she was able to come back. But no, seriously, the song I want to talk about is Meek Mill featuring LMA 24/7. That has the Beyonce Me, Myself, and I. What is that called? Voice? Sped up voice in the background or something? I don't think it's a sample of the beat, but it is her saying Me, Myself, and I. Now, see, back then I was definitely a Beyonce fan. I was definitely a Beyonce
like when
fan.
she first came out?
When she first came out, yeah.
Shit, I still have that album.
Yes, that album, I still fuck with that album. I also still like her second album. And let me talk a little bit real quick, because I know a lot of people think I'm like, oh, you're not a Beyonce fan? How aren't you a Beyonce fan? Blah, 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 blah. She became just too overexposed for me, which kind of turned me off to her. Not anything she did per se, but just as soon as Beyonce just blinks funny, people just go crazy. She comes out with a song, and here come people redoing the video, their own version, doing their dance, and it just becomes so oversaturated with Beyonce. So it's just kind of like,
a lot of her beats sound alike to me. You know?
Really? All right, I told you better be careful. But what you said about Beyonce?
I love Beyonce. What you mean? I grew up on Destiny's Child. Like, don't do me. I love Beyonce. Now, I'm not a big fan of her like I used to be, but I still love her though. So.
Okay. And I have a lot of respect for Beyonce. I think it was a bold move. I would love to know how much, I should Google that, how much Meek Mill had to pay to get that sample of her voice.
Well, you know, him and Jay-Z, they like this, so, you know, it probably didn't take,
yeah.
too much,
Yeah, that's true. So, Philly's own Meek Mill. So, getting to the song at hand, I like the song, and I'm not saying that because I'm from Philly and I'm this huge Meek Mill fan. Even though being a resident of Philly, I am a little biased, a little more biased towards Philly artists, but I like the song. I really like the song. I thought that was something unique and a little different for him to do. I think that her voice is smooth and crisp over it. Beyonce's little sampling of Me, Myself, and I comes in just enough. It's not, too much. What do you think?
I really like it. I like LMA. I like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I really dig it. I really like it over. Well, I don't know how to say it, but I really do like the song. I like when Meek Mill says something like, "When you see me kneel like Kaepernick, call the Reverend." See, I got $1 million a stash for a wedding. Like, okay.
So, do you like the original version? I wouldn't even say. See, it's not really a remake.
Yeah,
it's
you
more
can't
of
even
just
do
a
that.
slight sample. Yeah, I would give it a thumbs up for what it is.
It is a thumbs up. Yeah, I definitely replay in my car.
Yeah.
See, anybody rides with me, if it's a song I'm digging, I'm gonna replay it and replay it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Okay, so that's 2 thumbs up for 2 songs from both of us tonight. That's what's up.
Check that song out too if you haven't heard it. I'm quite sure you have though. LMA and Meek Mill, they're like super popular right now.
Yep, 24/7.
And on the radio.
So the next song, the next show. So the third thing I want to talk about is a remake of a show, a reboot of a show. Now this show I started watching when it first came out. I was a teenager, I believe. And that show was called Charm. It was a show that came on the WB, for all of you folks that remember the WB. It was a show, you know, with witches and magic and demons. And the charmed ones were these 3 magical sisters who had the power of 3. And they vanquished demons and fought demons for the good of the world, to save the world, etc., etc. Now, this show had a very strong, faithful following during its run. You know, a lot of people, even after the show was canceled, a lot of people still followed it. A lot of people still talked about it. You know, there were even some folks wanted them to do a follow-up show featuring, I think, the kids that the sisters end up having, you know, showing them as adults and what the kids, you know, were doing. So back last year when I heard that they were rebooting this show, I wasn't excited about it because I'm like, a reboot always consists of something, you know, a different version of it, or a remixed version of it. And then when they did not pick up any of the original cast, I was really like raising my eyebrow and scratching my head like, I don't know about this. And I know a lot of people. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? A lot of people were upset that none of the original cast were a part of it. Not necessarily that they had to be featured, but like just had no parts of it whatsoever. I've been watching the show, and I can't. I definitely don't like it better than the original. Even though, you know, they did bring some culture to the show. They brought some diversity to the show. That's the word I'm looking for, diversity. Because the sisters are of Latin descent, and one is half black, half Latino. So they did bring some diversity to the show. I do like that about it. But
she showed up after the mother died or something?
Yeah.
I watched the pre- I'm gonna be all honest with you. Mm-hmm. Never really watched the show. The only time that it would come on for me is like early in the morning, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when no one's watching. Like, I didn't watch it. Did it come out like in the early 90s?
It came out in the late 90s and it continued into the
so the late 90s. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I do remember it coming on, but I've just never been into it. And like I say, the only time I will be able to catch it is like early in the morning when there's nobody watching now. But it still comes on.
Oh, okay.
I think it comes on like TNT or TBS.
Yeah, that's the channel it used to come. The reruns used to come on, so they probably still come on there. But yeah, I'm still on the fence about it. I think they're on like episode 9 or 10 or so, and I've been watching it, but it still doesn't have that same feel as the original. I would say the same feel. Yeah, but
the animation, the effects
the effects are. They're good. They're good. Of course, they're better than they were back then because technology and cameras and everything is better. I will say that one of the sisters, I feel like she doesn't utilize her powers enough. One of the sisters has like telekinetic powers, and I feel like she's whack. Like, she needs to go in her Jean Grey bag sometimes. Like, tear stuff apart.
Okay.
But I'm on the fence. I can't give it a thumbs up just yet, but I'm not giving it a thumbs down. I'm at a neutral point with this show. I'm at a neutral point. I would love to know